Right, here we are. So we've got a special competition today. If anyone notices a really geeky mug at any point, so we'll just keep your eyes peeled for that as we go through.
Are you giving it away already?
Yeah, but
it's not like there's going to be mugs flying about, is it?
No, because I haven't got one.
So it's not really a challenge, is it?
I feel like a mug's something you'd just look at though and not look at it.
I suppose.
Evening, Heidi. So I feel like people needed a prompt on that. So tonight, this morning, wherever you may be consuming this from, I know Heidi's in America.
This morning, why do you think we've got some international viewers?
Heidi is, who's just said hello. She's defo.
Sure.
Although it might, I reckon it's probably still afternoon now though, because most places in America it is, isn't it? Unless she's proper West. I don't know. Maybe she'll tell us. So the question I posed was, does community beat marketing? And we'll delve into that in a little bit, but I think we should just do a bit of a few project updates. We'd like to get them in. What's been happening in the last 2 weeks, mate? Because I know you've been busy.
What has been happening? We're doing a bit of renovation work at the minute on the cafe, which is moving along nicely. New coffee machine, new cafe set up, decorated on the weekend. Hopefully flooring's going down very soon, new flooring, which would be nice. And then we've ordered furniture over the weekend as well, which hopefully is going to come for the end of February. So hopefully by early March, which isn't too long away really, is it? Only a couple of weeks. We should be set up, pretty much boxed off. But yeah, it's just one of them really. Just decided on the spur of the moment we're going to do it, and then next thing, I'm plumbing in a new cafe. I didn't really know what happened. I just got a pipe cutter in my hand, and that were it. In we go. In usual Elliot and Charlotte fashion. So yeah, but we're getting it done. It's going to be class when it's done. It looks good already. So, and the coffee machine's mint. It's like my new baby.
Mate, I couldn't believe that the other day because I thought you got new coffee, didn't I? Because I'm not the most experienced with coffee. I've not been drinking it that long, but I had a cup the other day and I was like, man, this coffee's so good. And you were like, it's the same coffee, it's just the machine. And then it blew my mind that a coffee machine could have that much of an impact. Don't get me wrong, I know, you're chucking a pod in an espresso, you're not going to get the greatest flavors, but the difference was insane. So
I was surprised. I thought it'd taste different, but I didn't expect it to taste so different. But it just shows, doesn't it, like quality of the machine and stuff. I mean, we didn't have a bad machine before, but obviously this new machine's far and above whatever that was. So yeah, that's been happening, which has been super busy. To be fair, it's one of them. I'm a serial underestimate. I think we've talked about it before. I'm like that'll take a 2-hour kind of person. Actually, it takes 2 weeks. So bit naive. Keep falling into that trap, but it's not a bad trap to fall into, I guess. My enthusiasm. And then
and mate, on that before you move on, it's just that sort of when you start a job, you just fucking see it through, don't you? It's like some people like start a big job and they never end up finishing it because they're like, whereas you're like, I don't know, it's a similar mentality. I'm the same. Like, I'm like, right, I've started now. Let's just fucking get it done because it's got to be done anyway. Let's not just worry about how long it's going to take or how hard it's going to be. Let's just crack on and see what happens.
I just desperately want to get it done now. Get it done, get it boxed off, and get it rolling. So yeah, and then obviously we've got the Open that starts next week, which should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Put a post out yesterday to sort some teams out, some coaches' teams, like a bit of a intramural at the project, which we always get a good turnout for. So we'll be running that, which should be good. And we've got some exciting stuff lined up for the 3 weeks, finishing with a big finale on the Friday night. So we're going to get pizza down, DJ, hopefully, a bit of fancy dress, that kind of vibe, which would be cool. And then game day photography is coming as well. So he's coming for his second member photo day, and we've managed to pencil him in for the final night of the Open, which should be great because he's going to get some cool shots because he got some amazing shots last time. And that was just a regular class. So I'm looking forward to that. And then new Masters class that starts tomorrow. So that'll be cool. That'll be.
Is that tomorrow? Is my mum and dad on tomorrow, or are they on Friday?
I'm not sure actually. I don't know, but yeah, it starts tomorrow, 11 o'clock. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And we've got like nine booked on it, which is cool.
I'm buzzing, mate. I'm so proud of my mum and dad for doing this. Like, it's, like I've spoke to you a lot, Anna, about like, I don't know, not worries as such, but you always, as people get older, you want them to be in the best nick they can be, so that when the inevitable challenges of age present, you're better equipped to deal with them. And I will, I'm really, really proud of them. See how they get on, and I know they're going to enjoy it way more than they think. They're excited. I know they're excited, but I think they're going to enjoy it even more than they think they will, because I don't know. There's something even at any age. There's something, and that's what made me stick with it initially. Was that just turning up. You know what time to go. Someone tells you what to do. Someone helps you. Someone coaches you. Meet you with people that have a similar mindset, and then you go home. Like, it's so. If you just break it down into its simplest form, there's nothing better than that, is there? Yeah,
there's nothing bad can come from it, can there?
No.
So yeah, it's going to be good, mate. I'm excited to get that going tomorrow. Obviously, Albie's coaching it, and he's got some experience of doing that style of class before, which I don't have any experience of doing. So I'll be there, and I'm excited just to see how it goes down, because I think I'm taking it on Friday. So obviously I'm looking forward to doing that. So yeah, there's quite a bit going off, to be fair, mate. Well, I guess there always is, eh?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna miss some photos again, mate. I love a new profile pic and all.
Oh, on the 13th, you're not here.
Yeah, I'm at 179 for that, so I'll miss all the Friday Night Lights at Project. I'm gonna get in every Friday morning and do it on the class in the morning, and then head to wherever I'm going.
That's the place with the second most rogue equipment in the UK, isn't it?
After you?
After us, yeah.
I'm going to have to give Johnny some stick out when I get down there, mate, if you're claiming that. He's got a plaque, though, and you haven't, so I don't know what it is.
I've asked for a plaque, and they won't give me one. They just keep ignoring me. They keep ignoring my emails. I can't believe it. It's an absolute outrage, to be honest.
Do you want me to take Johnny's plaque off wall when I get down there?
Yeah, see if you can get it in your pocket or something.
I'll have a crack. You're doing it live, aren't you? Doing what live? Oh, the workout. I don't know. Like, I can't really do it live in a class, can I?
You're doing it live.
I said a while ago, because we're going to do a head-to-head on the Continuum channel. If you are watching this on the Defiant show, by the way, go and click there on Continuum and make sure you subscribe to that. But yeah, we're going to do like a head-to-head sort of comp, like on a Saturday, where you just both dial in and just try and beat each other in a workout. And I said the first open workout, I'd do it against Yanni Boy, who's one of the other people on channel.
I thought you meant the last open workout, you were going to do it live. I was like, Jesus, no one wants to see that.
Mate, well, to be fair, by the last one, I'm normally just stood around, just looking at either a bar or a skill.
It'd be a pretty miserable watch.
Yeah.
It might be all right on the first one. If it comes out like last year, a few burpees, some clean and jerks, and some lunging.
Mate, as long as if it's a burpee, a dumbbell, and a machine, I'll be all right. Anything outside of that. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for it this year. But I've just got, I think, like, my next couple of weeks are just mental, like going up to Glasgow, and then that's on the Friday. The Defiant ones is on the Sunday. I move house on the Thursday, and then I go back to Newcastle on the Friday. So it's going to be a bit mental. But that's how we want it. And that's been called that Tri-Nation. So yeah, we're out with Project now, mate. What is it? What are the sign-ups?
I've not looked, mate, for a bit, to be fair. Let me.
Heidi knows. She's saying I'll beat Yanni Boy all day.
So that's going to be the first week, right?
Yeah.
I might even watch that, to be fair. Depending on what it is.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. the whole thing. It's got a buzz this year, and I love that it's doing well. I love that CrossFit, it feels like it's back. And I don't know, like people say that when you're in an echo chamber with it, it's always easy to see the positives in that, but it definitely feels different to the last couple of years. I don't know if that's fair or not, but I just think it just seems to have got a good bit of momentum. And I think even the way, like, I know like it's hard to sort of relate the sport and the methodology and all that, and there's always conversations about that. But the athletes, I feel like, you know, the top athletes, especially on the male side, because they are so involved and do so much on social media and get stuck in, I think it just really, it helps so much. And like,
it all vibrates down the chain, doesn't it?
It does, but then I just think, like, I see that and I'm like, oh, that's inspiring, that's exciting. People, you know, these people that we all look up to. And then I just think, does, like, I don't know, just a random member at gym even know who these people are? And it's like, how do you go on that sort of journey of they're doing great things to advertise it, but is it only ever seen within our sort of echo chamber?
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think it probably is. I think I've said it before that, I mean, I don't know, 90% of our gym population don't necessarily come to the gym for that, like, competitive reason. So they're probably not consuming that. More than that, probably they're not consuming that kind of media, if that makes sense. Or maybe don't even know who those people are. They come into the gym because they enjoy that way of training. Do you know what I mean? I think the number of people that are perhaps consuming that type of media before trying the thing is few and far between.
Yeah, and I guess that sort of leads us nicely into sort of talking about marketing and things like that. And the provocative question, I guess, was, does community beat marketing? And I'm gonna let you go off on that to start with, because I've got some views that I don't want to put in your head before you speak, because I don't want to, you know, with my take on things, mate. I don't want to sort of I don't know, get stuck into your decision too much for you.
You're not changed my decision, mate. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know my opinion of the word community, and it's not that I don't like the word, and it's not that I don't believe in the thing. It's the fact that there's lots of gyms just hang the hat on that being the thing. Like, they hang the hat on the fact that they've got the greatest community in the world. Well, I'm pretty certain, like, you can go to any CrossFit gym, and the environment fosters a great community. Like, you can't, I don't know, you can't build it and they will come anymore, if that makes sense. I just kind of despise that side of it as opposed to the actual thing. I think obviously it does foster a great community and stuff, but to hang your hat on that and that be the thing that you try and sell your gym off, it just doesn't work anymore, because community is everywhere. Great community is everywhere. You've got to set yourself apart some other way. That's my opinion of it.
But do you? I'm just trying to think on that, because I think, like, because it is important, but you don't know. I guess you don't really know it exists until you're in it, do you?
Yeah.
So you know, like, if you'd have said to me, because I know you take the piss out of me, because I use that word a lot, but that's because I feel like I've got, like, I don't know, it's almost like multiple communities in a way, which are all within the overarching CrossFit communities, you could say. Because, you know, when I look at what we're doing with Defiant in terms of the Defiant Co, that's got a community that's rallied around us during this birthday challenge that we're doing. And then when I think about Defiant Print Services, that's got a almost slightly different community. And then being in the gym at Project and being involved in that community and making mates that I would never have met anywhere else, that are like mates for life because of that community. And then when I visit other gyms and see all theirs, I think there's, like, sort of, there's massive value in it. But again, until you are in it, it's impossible to describe it. And I think that's where maybe when you say everyone says they've got a great community, everyone has. but because it's theirs, isn't it?
There, like community is everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
community is everywhere, and from like an affiliate point of view, to hang your hat on that peg and say we've got a great community. What does that mean to anyone that's potentially going to come down to your gym? It doesn't. It means absolutely nothing, because you've just said it. You don't really know what it is until you've experienced it. So to bark on about it doesn't mean anything to someone who doesn't know.
Yeah, but when we look at straight saying pre-tours, nobody know if needed a fucking energy. Yeah, but when we look at it though, is it not the same thing? So in cultivating a community, however you do that, whether you do it with the end goal of marketing or sales in mind, is it not one and the same? Because if I said to you, what's more valuable to you as a marketing tool, your community or marketing? And when you think of marketing, I'm talking like, Instagram, maybe ads, meta ads, all that kind of stuff that some businesses will go down the route of. But then the most tried and tested and most effective way of getting members through the door, which Andy and Gareth talk about, you've seen success from, is the Bring a Friend Day. So that's almost a community marketing tool that is really effective, but it's still marketing. So do people cultivate a community because they want people to come to it, or do they just do that and then it naturally happens?
Well, I mean, it just naturally happens, particularly in like on an affiliate level. Like for us, for example, we didn't actively set out to create a community, if that makes sense. It's just something that occurs naturally through shared suffering of workouts and spending time with people on a regular basis. It's just something that happens naturally. So the answer to the question is, like, we don't do any paid marketing at all. Never have done. I don't think we ever will. All of our new memberships, new members, all that kind of stuff, it's all word of mouth pretty much, like probably 90%. Like we might have the odd person that sees us on Instagram or whatever, but even then they might come down, and we always say like, oh, how did you hear about us? And it's usually through somebody else. So yeah, obviously, like we are leveraging that, but it's not like we've not consciously built community. Community just kind of happened from the nature of the activity that we're doing. And like you said, you've got a bunch of different communities, haven't you, from the various avenues, and anything that's like group based is always going to create that thing.
This is a good question, actually, because this is what I was going to go into. So how many gyms? So in terms of actual CrossFit, you're the only one within Chesterfield, which is not a massive area, but there was two, wasn't there? And one recently closed. But is there any more that you'd consider a sort of, because there's obviously commercial gyms, Heidi, but like they're not really the sort of
there's
competition, are they?
No, there's nothing in Chesterfield offering what we're offering. I mean, the closest is probably CrossFit 17 at Mansfield, which is what, 15, 20 miles away, maybe. Sheffield's probably similar, is it? CrossFit Sheffield. But yeah, in our town, there is nothing now.
And I think for a bit more context on that, Heidi, I know in America, I always have this joke with some of my mates that live out there. Everything's so far away that you might be thinking 15, 20 miles. Oh, that's just down the road. Whereas in England, that's a fucking slog. That's half an hour, 40-minute drive there. People will make a decision that they might not want to make, so they don't have to make that drive. But that's just the nature of it, isn't
it? Yeah.
Hello, cuties. Well, hello. Thought I'd pull that up. Thought I pulled that.
Plurals. Cuties. Two of us.
And this is a thing. So, this is what I was going to get at. So, I think marketing could be more necessary in a more saturated market, and I absolutely agree with that. And I think my take on that is a little bit more. Well, I've had an experience recently with marketing. So, for the last, obviously, I've been doing the birthday challenge, which I've not stopped banging on about. which has worked. But I've also been running a Facebook ad for the exact same time. And I think a lot of people fall down with Facebook ads and marketing because they don't really know how to set it up properly and know how to track the results. So then it's just like you've said before, throwing fucking darts at a board with a blindfold on. Whereas I managed to figure it out with, well, I say Tori did some great work figuring it all out. So now I've got an ad running where I can see how many people have clicked, how many people have paid, how many people have gone to checkout, how many people have abandoned cart, literally every bit of data we now get. So now ads to me are invaluable because I am in a saturated market. I do need to compete. I do need to get my name out there. And they say that people will see you 7 times before they'll make a purchase. Obviously, that's going to be slightly different in your area because people generally like sort of, it's an impulse, isn't it? Shit, I need to join a gym, do it now, and of get a response. But if you were in a more saturated market and people just weren't organically coming so much, it'd absolutely have to be something that you looked at.
I think it's so different. Like the thing you're talking about is people making a one-off purchase, right? Not maybe a one-off purchase, but they're making a purchase to receive like a physical item, for example.
Yeah.
Like we're providing a service, and we provide a great service, and people reinvest in that every single month with us. And like we've said, like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but no one's doing it like us, if that makes sense, in our area. And anywhere, I'm a firm believer. Go on.
Let me push back on that because I totally agree. But how does anybody know that unless they're there? And also, one of the premiums that you have at the project, which you've talked about, is the coaching. So until you actually through the door and participating in a class, you have no idea if that gym is better than that gym or what you're offering. So you've got to get people through the door still, haven't you?
Yeah, but like I said to you, like 90% of the people that are coming through our door are coming through the door because someone else has told them about it, that already come to us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe if we were in a different place, it might be different. But like a referral is so much more valuable than any other kind of lead. Like if someone advocates your service to a friend, family member, colleague, whatever it might be, like that's the biggest compliment that you can ever receive. And 90% of the leads that we get are coming from that source. And we've never found ourselves in a position where we've really had to jump outside of that. One, because we have a great retention rate, and two, because we have enough leads each month. And maybe like, I don't know, if we wanted to grow, I mean, we're like right on capacity in terms of like number of classes and number of members. So we're conscious of that. Like maybe if we did expand timetable, whatever it might be, like, yeah, maybe we could look externally into the marketing avenue, but we just don't need to do that right now. I'm not saying never. Do you know what I mean? But my experience of like paid ads like Facebook and stuff is absolutely zero. It's never even crossed my mind.
Yeah. And I guess as well,
we've never had the problem of not having people coming through the door.
I can't remember what I was going to say then. I had a really good point. Sean's asked you there, mate, do you run specials like in April, teachers get a whole month free on nurses in July, etc.?
No.
There you go. Easy.
I think stuff like that, I just think it devalues the service, in my opinion. That is my reservation about doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anything like we used to do a free trial, and we don't do that anymore because again, I just think it devalues the service that you offer. We do a paid trial now, and I think we used to do a free trial just because maybe a bit of, I don't know, professional uncertainty, if that makes sense. Like we didn't necessarily not believe. We've always believed in what we're delivering is good, but we felt like we had to give it away for free to get people through the door. Whereas now we're in a position where I guess a professional confidence, like we know I know full well what we're doing is great, and you're not going to get it better anywhere else. So if you want to come, it's a paid trial, and of great value. 2 weeks for 30 quid. I mean, you're not going to get a better deal than that anywhere else. It's still a great deal, but it's paid, and the buy-in is there. Then, if people pay for something, they're more likely to come and use it. If you give something away for free, it's just disregard and chuck to one side.
Yeah, that's a massively good point as well, isn't it? Like you said before, aren't you, that you can only really have a positive impact on someone if they give you enough commitment on their part to attend and to come. And if you're giving someone away, I don't know, a free month, there's not that urgency, there's not that skin in the game, and then they won't see the results because, just in 2 weeks, how your first session would feel versus end of 2 week that session, you're starting to see some progress then, aren't you? Like whatever it may be.
Yeah. In 2 weeks, like you can get a feel for what it's like, and like the community that perhaps we talk about. Like we've said, it's all well and good telling people you have this fantastic community, but it doesn't mean anything to anyone until they've come and experienced it for themselves.
Yeah.
So that 2 weeks, not only is it an opportunity to come and try the service and the gym, the facility, the coaching, all that kind of stuff, it's to give people the opportunity to come and understand what that thing is. That, I mean, we don't talk about it. Like it's not something that we advertise. Maybe it comes across on stuff that we post on Instagram or whatever, but it's not something that we'd physically write. But it gives people an opportunity to come and get a feel for that as well, which is part of the service, training with like-minded people. It's one of the things that keeps people coming back. And environment for me is the most important thing.
We did law enforcement in January and added 5 members. One of those just a significant other of law enforcement. Whereabouts are you, mate? Whereabouts are you, Sean? Here's his mug. What's it say? Too quick. But I guess, from when we talk about marketing, like one of the things you talked about there in the States. So that's another thing, I guess. I feel like I don't know if it's as. Do you think it's as big over here in the services, CrossFit? Because I feel like in the States it sort of started there and exploded out from like the army or whatever branch of the army, navy, all that kind of stuff into like the forces, like the police, fire, and all the rest of it. And I don't feel like there is that in the UK in the same way. I don't know if that's because most of our cops are just fat and useless and arresting people for posting on social media as opposed to doing real work. I don't know. Not all of them. I know a few. Sorry, but I don't. Do you think that? I don't feel like it has that same sort of.
I don't know. We have quite a lot of members that are like in services and stuff.
And fucking hell, I ain't upset people there, have I then?
I don't know. You like upsetting people, don't you?
Yeah, it's my second favourite thing to do.
What's your first?
CrossFit.
All right.
Fucking hell. Eating. Cheers, pal. He called me fat earlier, when I was deadlifting.
You just said that. That's what I mean. You're on about how much you love eating.
Yeah.
Earlier. So that was top of your list. Yeah, we have quite a few. But again, I mean, the thing with that is like we always find, I don't know how to explain it, but obviously, like someone joins the gym, they know somebody else. Like every person that joins, let's say they know 5, 10 other people, they tell them about it. It works organically. So like we have people that are in services and they all work together, if that makes sense. So they might tell someone they work with. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Culturally, I've not spent enough time in the States to know, is it bigger there than it is here in services or not? I'd say probably, but I wouldn't be able to say for sure.
You know what? Just thinking about this comment Jake made here. So this is why this channel exists. The British market is so different to the US. But this channel also exists actually to tell more of the story of UK CrossFit. And I guess maybe that is some naivety on my part because like Jake's saying here, they've got 8 policemen, 12. That's a lot, isn't it, in one gym? I guess maybe I'm coming at that from the point of view is you don't see it banded about and advertised in the UK like you do in the US. The US are proud of the services and the forces, and it's like a badge of honor. So CrossFit talk about that a lot. Whereas CrossFit in the UK has never really had the same voice because obviously it was established and developed in the US, and most of the people in high ranking positions are in the US. And I feel like what Jake's doing with this channel is trying to build that. And I think that's probably just a prime example of why this channel could be really good to sort of, I don't know, tell the message of it across it from our point of view, as opposed to just sort of being the poor cousin or something of the US. Because maybe it does exist. Because like I said to you, I don't know any, but then again, they don't turn up to class in the uniform, do they? So why would I know?
No, you don't.
You know what I mean?
Unless you ask. It always surprises me. Like I speak to lots of members, and I'm always interested in finding out what people do outside of work, outside of the gym. Sorry, and it always surprises me when you find out what people. And we have a bunch of members that do loads of different stuff that you wouldn't know. Why would you? Like you say, no one turns up in the uniform or with a sandwich board on saying I do such and such or whatever, do they? No. Everyone's coming down to get a sweat on and have an hour and leave with a smile on the face. And that's what it's about. Everyone doing the same thing.
Yeah. And you know what, I want to go back to that marketing bit, because one of the things I think that I couldn't remember at the time, it's just come to me, was, when you were talking then about your retention rate, your attrition rate, your conversion rate, all that stuff. I guess from your point of view, it's not that you're not doing marketing in the strictest sense. You're very much aware of all your numbers and how your numbers, what your numbers mean to you as a business and as a gym. So from your point of view, when you're looking at all those metrics, you're fine. So there's no need to go outside of what's working when you've got all those numbers to rely on. But I feel like so many people in business, whatever business it might be, don't know their numbers. And if you don't know your numbers, you don't know if you need to do marketing or if you just need to, I don't know, maybe improve your service a little bit better or your retention rate and all that stuff. So Is that something you've learned over time, how to sort of make the most of what data exists and then utilize it to your advantage more?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I think that's where a lot of affiliate owners go wrong. And I used to do it a lot. Like, it's an emotional thing to be involved in, and I'm like, you tie yourself to it if you don't have objective data to make decisions off, it's all subjective. It's all by feel, and when you're in it and you've got your blinkers on and you're in the echo chamber and you're going by feel, you make emotionally poor decisions. Whereas actually you sit back, and if you have your numbers, all those numbers that you've just talked about and various other ones, you can go, right, where is the problem? And then you can hone down on whatever that might be. Because you might think you have a marketing problem, like people knowing who you are, where you are, what you do. But actually, you might not have the marketing problem. You might have a retention problem. You're not getting enough leads because you're losing so many people out the bottom. Well, actually, if I tighten that bit at the bottom, I don't need so many leads. So it's not a marketing problem anymore. It's a retention issue. But yeah, I mean, I've always said to you, like, we've been open what will be 9 years in October, and I mean, I look back now and I don't really know how we got to where we are. Do you know what I mean? You look back now, it's absolutely crazy. Like, we opened that gym 9 years ago, and I don't know. Like, it's like you're in cloud cuckoo land, to be honest. But you're filled with passion and enthusiasm, and I mean, I still am. That's the greatest thing about it. But I don't know. Like, it's a long old road, and it does become emotional for the owner. And I speak to loads of different gym owners, and they find themselves in the, because you're there, you're coaching, you're doing the thing, you're doing everything. Do you know what I mean? You're coaching the people, you're dealing with the people outside of coaching. It becomes all encompassing.
What do you think you did? Because, and I don't know if it's a thing you did. I guess we'll find out when I finish my question. You know, what did you do along the way to sort of recognize those things then? Because like you go from, I'm not saying you were inexperienced or like maybe you didn't, you know, not business oriented, but you got into it with a passion for fitness. And then to make that, I don't know, to continue that passion, you've got to then transition into fitness enthusiast to business enthusiast. But you don't want to lose that passion for fitness that you talked about and that you still have. What did you do along the way? Was it just a case of, you know, like one of your famous sayings is going banging from one disaster to another, but then having the presence of mind to learn from it and make sure you didn't make the same mistakes again? Can you remember the sort of journey in that way, or is it all just like merged into one?
Yeah, it's difficult to pinpoint like particular things, but I mean, and it's not like we're not there now. Do you know what I mean? We don't know everything. Like I'm fully aware of that. We can still be better, and we're always trying to be better. We're always looking at new avenues and things we can do better and how we can improve service. Like complacency is the killer of everything. But yeah, I mean, I can't pinpoint stuff, but like I've said to you before, it costs to learn, doesn't it? And you've just got to make sure it costs to learn and it costs once, as opposed to going back and repeating the same kind of mistake. But yeah, the more I kind of dive into the numbers now, particularly like on a monthly basis, like I'll sit down and review kind of the previous month, and that kind of guides perhaps where we're going the following month. It makes it so much easier for me on a personal, like mental level to go, right, where are we? Where are we going? It just kind of puts clear goalposts out there for me to work towards, as opposed to like before, like, oh, this many people left. What are we going to do about it next month? Or do you know what I mean? Like it was all subjective, very emotional. And then it kind of bleeds into the whole of your life, if that makes sense. And I'll hold my hands up now and I say, I still struggle with that. Like kind of not detaching from the gym, but like coming home and like putting the work phone down, or do you know what I mean? Even leaving it. I mean, I always try but I never do. I always try and leave it at the gym. When I finish work, I try and leave the work phone at the gym, and I'm absolutely terrible for it. I never do it. I probably in a week I might do it once out of 7 days. Like, and there is life outside of those four walls, but sometimes in the moment it doesn't feel that way. And the more you know the numbers, the easier it is to do, I think. Or it's definitely got easier for me anyway.
I think that when you're passionate about something and you love it, it's hard to switch off, innit? Because you don't want to, because not switching off is what makes you great. Yeah. But then equally, it's not sustainable in the long term. Especially, I find that myself just from my point of view, and I don't have like, you know, wife and kids that obviously are a priority as well, like you do. So I get that, mate. I get that completely. Ish.
It's all about balance, isn't it? It's balance, and sometimes it's
fucking hate that word though.
Sometimes it's difficult to find, and I don't think affiliate ownership is any more difficult than any other like endeavor. Like in business ownership, I think it's all very, although the service and what we offer is different, I think all small business owners are facing the same problems. Maybe just slightly different. And like the feeling that I've just talked about there, like being so emotionally involved and not being able to turn off and stuff. I'm absolutely certain that all small business owners experience that same thing.
Yeah. Well, they must, because I just don't think you're going to own a small business for long if you're not, because like if you don't love it completely, there's plenty of things you could do that would be far less stress, far less hours, and far less fucking about. So like I think that's the parallel, isn't it? That's just where it. Because I don't know, when I think about it, like I enjoy it that much that I'm like, it don't feel like work. And when you've got nobody sort of that relies on you for other things, it's hard. It's you don't even want to switch off because there's just no point. It's just, but I guess when you've got an attention to detail and you really enjoy it as much as you do, it's even harder in a way, because you're kind of, I don't know, you want to get back to that email, don't you? You want to get back to that text, because that's someone that's trusting you to provide a service to them. So but it's hard to, I don't know, I get emails sometimes and I think, oh, just don't reply to that yet. You don't need to be that available. And then I find myself just like, well, that's just how I am. That's just my nature, is to be like that. So what would you say then, mate? So when we talked about, then you've gone on quite a journey in terms of learning and you know, making mistakes and then learning from them, and then, you know, implementing things to make things better. If you were starting out again from the very beginning, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh God. I don't know.
I'm just thinking it from because like this is going to be pushed out to quite a few, like maybe affiliate owners, potential affiliate owners. Maybe rather than giving yourself that advice, what anyone that's thinking about opening a CrossFit gym, what would you tell them? I guess from a initial point of view.
I think it depends. I don't know. There's lots of things. I mean, I don't know. Let's talk about facility. I mean, I think we were lucky in the fact that when we opened in such a small space. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we opened in this really small, quite easy to manage space with a decent number of people that wanted to come and get involved with us, which again was more luck than judgment, because we wanted a bigger space. We just couldn't get one. So we ended up with a small manageable space that we outgrew. And I think a lot of people maybe go the other way and end up with this huge empty space, and like they open the door and go, oh, people will come. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, I think that was probably more luck than judgment. And then again, on like a facility level, like equipment wise, I always laugh about it, but I mean, you can look around the gym now, and we're blessed with space, but the amount of equipment that we have that is completely pointless and the biggest waste of money in the world. Like it pains me to even think about it, to be honest. I mean, it's cool stuff to have. I mean, like we've got a yoke, for example. We have one yoke. I mean, why? Whatever possessed me to buy one yoke?
Can you remember what the thought process were when you bought it?
Probably that would be cool to have.
You're watching some old CrossFit workouts on YouTube and saw someone with a yoke. And
now it just sits there gathering dust.
I saw you using it earlier, mate.
Yeah, putting it back together because it's been a long big corner looking like a mess. And now, like my driver is like we have 24 people on a class. I need enough. If I'm going to have something, I need enough of it to provide for those 24 people. And that's been a big driver over the last year. Like we've invested heavily in our like CV equipment to make sure that we have 12 of pieces of equipment. So 24 in a class, we can stagger a workout, and everyone does the workout on that machine, whether it be a row, a ski, an echo bike, whatever. So my mindset towards that has definitely shifted. And then I don't know. I think you touched on it maybe a couple of episodes ago, and I think I fell victim to it initially. Sometimes thinking you know it all, as opposed to looking outside for help or for other information and considering that information and how it would work with what you're doing. Like I'm definitely more available now to that than I ever have been previously. Like when I first started. And I think everyone, when they first start something, has an element of that to them. I don't think anyone goes into anything with their eyes wide open. They're a little bit blinkered. So yeah, I think that's probably important on a macro level, as opposed to like finer points of like facility and stuff like that.
Do you think then, since you've this is a loader because I know this is how I feel. But, since you accepted that you didn't know everything, I'm not saying you felt like you knew everything, but you know what I mean? That's a journey that we all go on, whereby we start a business, we think we know best because we've got it so far. And it is, sometimes you do believe your own hype, but like in learning that asking for help or taking advice from others can be beneficial. Have you found yourself being more willing to give help? Now, I'm not saying you wouldn't, but maybe offering it as opposed to waiting until it's asked for. Do you find you become more helpful as a byproduct of realizing that you needed help?
I don't know if I've become more helpful. I don't know, because maybe I'm trying to help, but maybe it's not helpful. But yeah, definitely. And over probably the last couple of years, like we have that great relationship with CrossFit Buxton and CrossFit Glossop, with that collaboration kind of membership that we do between the gyms. And I speak to Ad and I speak to Brack regular about kind of stuff that we're doing. Or I spoke to Adam yesterday. He rang me about like the screen that we have in the social space with the workout that goes around on it, and like advertising for events and stuff. And it's not to say like I wouldn't provide that information for other people, because I would. Like if someone asked me, I'd just tell them. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like I want to help Adam and Brack as much as I can. Like I want their CrossFit gym in Buxton to be great. I want the gym in Glossop to be great. It doesn't matter to me. Like, so yeah. So I suppose the answer is yeah. I'm more willing than I was before, because I think initially you're just so engrossed in what you're doing, you maybe forget about that aspect of it.
Do you think as well, when you get to a point with what you're doing, now I don't mean this is like a sort of saying that you've reached the point of maximum success, because there's never a ceiling when you're as like passionate and ambitious as you are, as I am, and as people are. But do you think that when you become so comfortable in what you're delivering, that makes it way easier to give advice and help people as well? Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you're more, not you, but I mean, generally speaking, you're more, I don't know, confident, and you don't see everyone as a competitor when you know the service you're offering is immaculate and is the best it can be. You're not worried about what anyone else is doing anyway, are you? So then it makes you more likely to help them.
Yeah, I mean, we've touched on it before, haven't we? And I've always focused on what we're doing and staying in our lane, and stuff that I can't have a physical impact on. I don't really think about it. I just concentrate on what we're doing and making sure what we're doing is great and good, and we're doing the right things for the right people. And like we touched on earlier in this conversation, like you just grow in that professional confidence, knowing that you're moving in the right direction. That comes from knowing numbers, like we've talked about. It becomes from knowing all that stuff, as opposed to it being an emotional state. It's more of an objective thing to go, like almost like we must be doing something right, if that makes sense. Like I mean, we must be, because there's no one comes and says, yes, you're doing that correctly. But the proof, I guess, is in the pudding, right?
Yeah, 100%. I said it on a podcast. In fact, it was last year when we did a year review, when Tori asked me, she was like, what's your greatest learn this year? And mine was that I know absolutely fuck all, because I've gone through majority of my life thinking I know everything. And the moment I accepted I knew nothing, I learned more than I could ever possibly have imagined, and made better friends, better business acquaintances, better connections, better communities, and everything, just from opening my mind just that tiny bit to think maybe I don't know everything. And it's hard to do in a weird sort of way, because it's like looking into your own, I don't know, soul and saying, right, maybe I'm not the best, whatever that may be, because we all like to think we're great at something, don't we? And just being open-minded enough. And then the moment you open that door a little bit, it snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. And then it's just, yeah, it's just self-replicating. Then I just think it's just a great way to be.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd echo that. And I think it's something that you have to grow into. Like I said, it's not something that necessarily, you don't go into these things with your eyes wide open like that, because you are blinkered by the the goal or the passion or whatever it is you want to call it. I think, and the more you step back and look from a bigger viewpoint, and you look down on it as opposed to being in the box all the time, it's easier to see.
Yeah. It's mental to me, because I, like, just reflecting a little bit on that. I used to fucking not want to talk to anyone, and now it's like, right, what can I learn? And it's just totally different shift, isn't it? And I guess that I like to circle it back, mate, to like community again, because I know you take the piss out of me, but that's it for me. Like, and I know it sounds silly, but like I've had that realization in the last few years. But when I think about it, that's because I've been surrounded by people that, whether that's, businesses might be different, relationships might be different, goals might be different, but they've got the same mentality, and they've got the same sort of mindset, and they want the same things in terms of, like, they want to be better, whatever that better is, in whatever capacity it is, and whatever field it is. They want to be more, they want to work hard, they want to, I don't know, they want everyone around them to do well. So you don't get that outside of a community. So I think that's why I bang that drum so much.
And I guess what's the saying? Like, you're a byproduct of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I've always been lucky to have a great, like, inner circle of friends that all want to be better. And then and I mean, it bleeds into, like, everything at a CrossFit gym, doesn't it? Of course it does. That's what brings people together. Like, everyone turns up, everyone does the same workout or their version of that workout. Everyone puts in the effort, regardless of what it is they're perhaps doing. And, like, we trained today at 3:30. Everyone's doing the same workout, but a different variant. But everyone at the end of that 80-minute workout is in the same physical, mental, emotional state. And that's what brings people together. And, like, I'm a firm believer. I mean, I think we spoke about it before, like, about fancy, like, CrossFit programs and stuff like that. You can have the fanciest, craziest, most elaborate program in the world, but I believe environment is the most important thing. Like, I train at 3:30 every day, and I can tell you right now that if nobody came to the gym at 3:30 on a Tuesday afternoon to train, I would not train. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it on my own. I need those people around me. And that's what a CrossFit or an affiliate offers. It offers you the opportunity to go in, train with like-minded people, and maybe it's not been the best day at work, or maybe it's not been the best time for you, but it's an uplifting experience for that 60 minutes, and you leave in a better place than you walked in it.
100%. And just on that, like, I don't know which day it was last week when it was deadlifts. I know it's been deadlifts today, but when on that last set, I was just like, I just can't be asked to do it. I'm going to get ready for workout. And if you hadn't been there, because you were like, just fucking do it. You've come this far, and it was just like, it was just the reality check I needed at the moment. Because why the fuck would I not do it? It was a ridiculous thing to even suggest.
Do 5 sets, not 6.
What's Jake saying here? Do the members at the gym, you guys, do this show? What? Say that again in English, mate. I don't understand it. Do the members at the gym do this show? You guys do this show? You mean watch it? I think we get a few.
Do they know? Do the members at the gym know you guys do this show?
Cheers, mate.
Missing a no, maybe?
Yeah, they should do. Every time, if that is the question, there's like a project private members group. So that, like, we post it in there just before we go on. Just to see. We normally get a few.
They probably know, but they don't listen.
Yeah, they definitely.
They did for a bit, 1 or 2 episodes, and then they're like, "Oh, fuck that! We're not listening to them two tripe on for an hour every Tuesday."
I probably, like, chip away at a few, don't I? Like, I always probably manage to upset someone along the way, but that is right. You inferred that correctly, but yeah. So again, project members, subscribe to Continuum, and you'll know more and more about UK CrossFit. Does Project have any adaptive members? Not including me.
Do we have any? No, I don't think so. No, not that I know of, anyway. Not that.
You'd probably know, wouldn't you?
I don't know. They're not all. It's not all visible, is it? What's the saying?
Yeah, but it's one of them, innit? Like, if it's not visible, I don't know. Do you deserve a blue badge? Not sure.
Brutal.
Well, I just think, if you you don't need to park close to the shop, is all I'm saying. If it's not visible, you might have a legitimate illness, but I just think, you don't need to be closer to the shop. That's all I'm saying. But anyway,
unfiltered as usual.
Well, there you go. I said I chip away at a few people every time we do a show. Maybe that's someone's dropped off now that thinks they should park wherever they want. Right. So I guess we've done updates, mate. So there's not much on agenda to finish off tonight, I don't think.
No, there's still time to sign up for the Open though, right? We got 71. Yeah. I had a look. 71 sign-ups.
DK messaged me earlier actually saying he'd not ordered his shirt, and I just palmed him off to you.
All right, he's not messaged me yet. Why? What do you mean?
Well, he said he messaged. It was weird. He messaged the contact us page on the Defiant Co website rather than just text me or message me on socials, because saying, have I missed it for this? And I just said, well, I don't know if there's any discount codes rolling. So speak to Al and see if he's got a code for you, because I didn't know if that had all finished now from a code point of view. I think it has, hasn't
it? Yeah, I don't know. We've still got the code though, right?
Yeah, the code will still work.
Yeah, we just can't. If he's entered the Open, we can send him the code. We just can't guarantee he's going to get his shirt for the first Open workout.
I was right then to send him back to you, mate. So I feel better about that.
So if he wants to wear it for next Friday, probably well, that's down to you, I guess.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Not quite apt with that printing machine yet.
Mate, it's not that, mate. I like. My community and marketing was too good, and I've had so many people coming for these Open tees, and we've done them for about 10, 12 gyms, and then other people wanting bits and bobs. And so it's been amazing. It's literally a free marketing tool, the Open, for both sides of the business.
Yeah.
But in it coming at a time when we've transitioned into doing most stuff ourselves as opposed to the odd bit of outsourcing, it is a baptism of fire.
Yeah. Straight into the deep end.
Yeah, and using new equipment, it's one of them, mate. You go to it and you do exactly what you did the day before, and something don't quite work how it did, and you're like, you haven't got the experience to realise the slight difference in what you did. So, yeah, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, mate, I'm done at that. Are you good?
Yeah, all good.
Right, so if you're still watching, make sure you subscribe to Continuum and Defiant Show, and then make sure you buy something from the Defiant Co, because we have got 4 days left in our birthday challenge, and it has been amazing so far, but I want more. Cheers, everyone.
See you later.